Hey guys, today we are working on rehooking up some boost control. We put a new ECU in Kurt's car, and that ECU supports boost control. So we have a rotary selector that I think is a 12 position, so we can actually map switch on that rotary selector in the ECU and do a host of other things continuously. It's not just the boost controller. I like to integrate those into the ECU. That way we have full control. We can change the map around if we want. There's just a ton of different parameters you can change based on where that rotary switch is. You can change your fuel that way. You can do a ton of other stuff, which if you guys are using any BMW turbo stuff or things like that, you guys know that those are available in BMWs and a host of other cars. So we're swapping it out. Had a solenoid in there that was in the car. It was plumbed down already. I think it was a little finicky. It wasn't acting the way that we wanted it to, so we're changing out to a 3-port Mac style. And it looks like we can actually screw this right to the manifold and it'll be really clean. So this is gonna actually go to the top port of the Turbo Smart gates. I think that's what it has on it. It has Turbo Smarts on it. The way that we control the boost that way is we're actually putting manifold pressure in the top of the gate. It goes to the bottom. That's when, if it just goes to the bottom only, then we're on the spring. So we'll be applying it to the top to actually negate some of that spring pressure and control the boost. You can also put this in line on the bottom, bleed it off, and do it that way. This one's already plumbed that way, so we're gonna plumb it, and it should be a really clean setup. So I'll take some video along the way, and boom, show you guys the results. The harness for this car, we have a connector that has all the outputs and extra ones. We're only using this one for boost control, so there we go. And we'll grab a couple pieces and make this pretty on the car. Just soldered it together, cut the other one off, soldered this one on. Everything gets heat shrink, and this happens to be adhesive lined, so you can see the glue. Change into this, making it cleaner, and get rid of a bunch of hose fittings, so we're getting some plugs for those. And this can go actually right to the manifold. Way cleaner. So there you have it. The solenoid, which is a 3-port Mac valve, goes to the distribution block for the intake, and from there right to the top of our gates. So just like that, we're hooked up, and we have our rotary selector switch right there for our boost control settings, all through the ECU. That's the way it should be done. So I didn't like the old setup. That's why I decided to change it out, get rid of some of the fittings and the failure points. I don't like to see hoses on there, especially this car has all AN and brake line fittings to the turbo, so we wanted to make sure that we stayed everything hard lined in that manner with no zip ties and no points of failure. It'd be hard for that stuff to come loose, and that's why we do it. So now we go through, verify the boost tables in the ECU, and they correlate correctly to the switch. And yeah, that's how that works. It's pretty simple, but you kind of need a dyno or data logging to make it work right. If you don't, it could be complicated because you can't run these on the street. Well, there's where we ended up. Went through, got this all configured, which is pretty cool. We go through the data logs to know where that's at, and we set our duty cycle based on the switch position. We blend 2 maps, and boom. So that's our high setting we end up with. It's right at, 17.8, almost 18 pounds. That's about where we wanted to go. We might turn it up to 20, see what it does. I mean, we're definitely making a ton of power. I'm not going to disclose it, but this is an LS7 headed aftermarket deal, so you guys can do the math. It's not going to be slow. Good times. Where I find the actual duty cycle settings is I go through these logs, and we look at where the switch is, and we look where we end up. And these are actually based on our boost tables. So if you go check out our DC table, we're switching between DC1 and DC2. So these are flat, and we can adjust these to tailor our boost curve, but we wanted to get this thing set up here for now, and then we'll do some data logs and test it. So table 1, which is the switch all the way to the number 1 position, we're at 15% duty cycle, and when we're all the way over, we're at 30. So that's where we go, and this equals 12 pounds, and this equals 18 pounds. We can adjust that duty cycle and correlate those at the rotary switch, and that's how we come up with our boost settings. So this car should run for sure. Hope you guys like the video and that makes sense to everyone. If you have any questions, you can always send them to me, email, send me a message, Instagram, wherever you're seeing this, you know. That's how we do it. All right. Can't wait to try this thing out. I think Kurt will be happy. £4.